Hey guys, Adam here from DirectionTrader.com. Let's go over today's markets and what I'm going to do going into tomorrow. Well, we had our Fed statement come out at 1 o'clock Central today. They dropped the words patience. For some reason they were really hyping that up. But obviously they did not move rates around. They are expected to raise them here in a few months. I don't know if they're going to get raised once, twice, 3 times throughout the rest of the year. You hear all kinds of hype. I'm not going to look too far into that. That seems to distract me too much, so I could care less. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep trading what the markets tell me to do, and that's been working. So let's just continue to use what's working, and whenever that time comes for the next announcement, I'll be a little bit patient, wait to see what they make their decision on, and then trade the reaction to that. Pretty straightforward stuff here. So on the right here, let me change this to a daily chart so we can start to look at some of this stuff here. Alrighty here. Alright, moving forward on the indexes here. That's what we see right here. These are the indexes. Let me get rid of that open interest. So now we have a daily chart over here to the right, and this is the S&P. You notice we clearly pushed to the upside today. We are in an uptrend still, guys. One thing we were noticing was the Russell was testing these highs up here earlier, and then you had the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. You had these highs to lows. They were right at their halfway point between their highs and lows. So that mid-range here that we watch so much in the markets. Okay, so bottom line is, we're still in an uptrend. We're still pulling back off the uptrend. All right, so let me explain what I'm going to do tomorrow. Here in the S&P, we're still not at the highs. So if we push through today's highs going into tomorrow, I'm going to look for long trade. One-sided trading. Okay? If for some reason we open up here somewhere in the middle of the candle bar of today's range, as we push higher and retest the previous day's highs or the high of today's range, I'll look to fade it first and go with it second. And then the other option is if it pulls back, I'm going to watch the halfway point of today's candle. Today was such a bullish candle. Halfway point comes in right within previous day's highs. And this halfway point, I will look to fade this and get some buying opportunities off that back towards the upside. Sorry, there's the bell. And anything below, wherever the midpoint of today, just simply take a Fibonacci, guys, in the morning. Draw from today's lows to today's highs. Find your midpoint. Use that as the kind of the boundary here. If it decides to start breaking back to the downside, I need to get it down below that midpoint before I start getting aggressive sells again tomorrow. See, here on the daily chart, this is a dangerous level because we have the 8 period, the 21 period, and the 50. Pretty much every single moving average we use except for the 200, which is obviously down here because we've had such an uptrend in the S&P. But every moving average we have are sitting right here. And what have we done? We're just basically piercing ourselves. Very flat moving averages. Not a good time to get aggressive. So make sure you have conviction one way or another. If we do pop above today's highs, we have conviction to the upside, and I will look to go with that tomorrow. Let's just go ahead and breeze through these real fast. I'm going to show open interest on it, but let's just look here. Here's the Russell. You see it pop through the previous day's highs. Look for just pullbacks and then long opportunities from here on out. The NASDAQ, same thing here as the Dow. Pretty much the same pattern on the NASDAQ as the S&P. And then also the same here as the Dow. So that analogy that we just had, that breakdown that we just had for the S&P, it goes for the NASDAQ and the Dow here as well. The Russell is absolutely the one that's a little bullish here. So I will pretty much, unless we see a tear to the downside, like a break below today's low, I probably won't look too aggressively to the short side on the Russell. It'll be predominantly longs. There's been a pretty good shift here in these markets, and if today is something to trigger here, look for it moving forward here. So, anywho, let's go on here to the gold markets real fast, and then we'll finish up with crude. Awesome activity here in gold and crude. What were we looking for today? I actually had a good, fun day this afternoon in the crude oil market. Let's pay attention to the gold here real fast, but they're going to be pretty much the same stuff that we talk about. They've dropped so significantly here the last few days. We've been talking about gold and crude the same way. If we can start, as long as we don't break below the previous day's low, look for pullbacks. Look for intraday pullbacks. Now, you see we had some really great pullbacks here intraday on gold. I didn't trade gold. I traded crude, but we were having some nice pullbacks on gold that you could have gotten an opportunity. What we're trying to do, get us retraced back up towards this 21 EMA. Anytime you get severely extended, in this situation here, we were extended to the downside away from that 21 EMA. Watch the previous day's lows. If it breaks through the previous day's low, go with it. If not, look for pullbacks to revert back up. Same thing, if you get above the 21 period moving average, watch the previous day's highs, the exact opposite. If it gets above, go with it. If not, look for opportunities to close that. Yeah, pretty straightforward. So, going into tomorrow, if we hold below the previous day's highs, look for this thing to go ahead and sell off because we're getting pretty close to our resistance here. If we pop through it, I'll be a little bit hesitant because we got a lot of resistance up here. I'll probably stay away from fresh new long opportunities intraday here on gold. But if we stay below that previous day's highs or today's highs, I will absolutely be looking for some type of selling activity on the gold market. And then here, where I had all my fun today, was crude oil. Let's talk here a little bit. It's going to be pretty much the same stuff I just now talked about on gold, but I did it on crude, and I'm going to talk the same thing here. We've been talking about getting this thing reverting back to that 21 period moving average. We're getting extended. We're down here at the lows. Watch that previous day's low. If you're able to push through it, go with it. That's exactly what we just now talked about in gold. If not, let's get it reverted back up here to that 21 period moving average. This afternoon was an extremely technical market here, guys. You slap some fibs on here, you wait for this announcement to come out, you throw some fibs on there. The length of this push was twice the length of the average push. You guys already know where I'm going with this. Extension levels. Start your extension levels to the highs. Pulled back 50% perfectly and hit targets. You draw again from a fresh start here to that new where it hit the targets. Another 50% pullback. That hit its target. Very, very technical market this afternoon on crude oil. Made for a really nice run up and a close at the highs here. So really powerful run up here after the announcement on crude. Did exactly what we've been talking about over the last a week or so in these trades here as it broke down, probably 4 days here as it broke down, looking to test, at least retest this 21. Anything below today's highs tomorrow, I'm going to sell. Anything above, I'm going to be a little bit skeptical, but I will look to the long side, being that we'd be at support here. You see all this support on crude that we have at these levels here, at these lows on the daily chart. That means we could pop right back up here towards these highs at these 54 halves, okay? So, different than gold. Gold, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. But here on crude, we are right back to that resistance area. Any type of energy above it, I'm going to go long. Any type of energy below it, I'm going to be shorting. Crude, I'm just hoping we can get some activity and some volatility tomorrow because there is a really nice market here setting up. We just need to see the market move. So should be very, very interesting what happens tomorrow with the indexes to see if they continue with this crude oil, more importantly, to see if we can get it to drop. So should be an interesting, fun day tomorrow in the live trading room. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just hoping we get some volatility after all this big move today. But with that being said, hopefully we have that move and we'll be able to take advantage of it. So that's it, though, guys. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. If not, thanks for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.